Transportation in plants. Plants have large proportion of dead cells. Plants have large proportion of dead cells. Compare than animals, plants have more number of dead cells. They do not move. Therefore, they have low energy needs. They have low energy needs because have more amount of dead cells. That's why plants need less energy. But animal cells need more energy because more amount of living cells are there. More number of living cells are there. Next, the transport system are slow. Transport system are slow. Transport system are slow. There are two independent pathways having conducting tube. There are two independent pathways having conducting tubes. Pathway means what? Is a traveling. The food is traveling into two pathways. The one is xylem. Xylem is a plant tissue. The xylem help move water and mineral from soil to aerial part of the plant body. There are two type of conducting tubes are there in the plants. The first tube is xylem. The xylem helps transport water and minerals. The other is phloem, which carries food and hormones from a region of availability to the area of utilization. Another one conducting tube is that is called phloem, which conduct food from where it is necessary, from to aerial part of the plant body, particularly where it is necessary, there it conducts. Okay, where it conducts, where it is necessary more, all living cells. Where are the cells are living, that living cells are need. Storage organ, where it stores the food, that is need. And developing fruits in this region need more amount of energy. So the phloem conducts food to this region frequently. Next, transport of water. Transport of water. How the watery transport from root to aerial part of the plant body we discuss. Xylem has 4 type of cells. Xylem has 4 type of cells. Before we see, xylem conducts water and minerals. Okay, for the conducting water and minerals, there are 4 cells are helping. The first one is tracheids. Trachid is a type of xylem cell. Tracheids is a dead cell. Vessel is a dead cell. Xylem parenchyma is living cell. Xylem fiber dead cell. Among the 4 cells, 3 cells are dead, 1 cell is living. These cells are interconnected with all part of the plant. These 4 type of cells are interlinked to all the part of the plant body. What for? To conduct water and minerals. For this purpose, it is interlinked to all the part of the plant body. Root take up ions from the soil. Root take up ions from the soil. Okay, in the soil so many nutrients are there, ions also there. So the root first absorb the ions. This creates difference. These create difference in the concentration of these ions between the root and soil. When it is absorbed the ions, no, then there are some differentiation in the concentration, that means diffusion. Okay, so it helps. Water move into root xylem and pushed upwards. The differentiation is helped to move the water from root to upwards. Then tracheids and vessel. Tracheids and vessel. These are called tracheary elements. Among the 4, first 2 called tracheary elements because they take part in transport of water and minerals. Among the four, the tracheids and vessels only take more responsible to conduct the water and minerals, so that this call it as tracheary elements. Next, these are the diagram of xylem elements. These are tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, xylem fiber. Tracheid is a long tube, and vessels are is a broad, like a vessel. We are using the word vessel, no, like that. Xylem parenchyma is a xylem fiber. Xylem fiber. These are the elements of xylem. Okay. Transportation help in the absorption of upward movement of water. Transpiration is helps in the absorption and upward movement of water and mineral from the root to the leaves. Before we discussed the tracheid and vessels only help to conduct the water and mineral from the root. Okay, for that transpiration is helping. What is transpiration? What is transpiration? The removal of excess amount of water as a water vapor through the stomata called transpiration. So the transpiration also help to absorb the or movement of water from root to leaves. Evaporation of water molecule from the cells. There are some evaporation. When the transpiration occurs, there are some evaporation. Okay, so this evaporation of water molecule from the cells. Leaf creates suction. Leaf creates suction. When there is evaporation, then leaf creates suction. Suction means for the sucking, it's a pushing out, which pull water from the xylem cells of roots. So there are suction pressure is created in the root. Transpiration helps in temperature regulation. Transpiration helps in temperature regulation. It is also help for the upward movement of water and also help in the temperature regulation. If the transpiration is not occur, what will happen? The plant cells absorb more amount of temperature, then it's dry. It becomes dry. So if transpiration is occur, what will happen? There is a circulation of water to all the part of the body, so that there is temperature is controlled. Okay. In daytime, the movement of water occurs through transpiration bulb. In daytime, the water movement is occurs due to transpiration pull. In night time, the water movement occurs due to root pressure. There are some root pressure in the night time. Okay, so that the water is moved from root to all the part of the plant body. Next, transport of food and other substances. Before we discussed transport of water, now transport of food. Okay, the food is conducted by the phloem. We discussed. Okay, like a xylem, phloem also has 4 types of cells. The first type is sieve tube. Second, companion cells. Third, phloem parenchyma. Fourth, phloem fibers. There are 4 types of phloem cells are there. Among these 4, 3 cells are living. First 3 cells are living. The phloem fiber is dead cell. Phloem fiber is dead cell. Check. Transport of soluble product of photosynthesis is called translocation. Translocation means transport of soluble product of photosynthesis. During the photosynthesis, what will produce? that means glucose or sucrose. Okay, so the glucose is transport from one to another part, that is called it as a translocation. This translocation occurs in phloem. The phloem transport amino acid, not only glucose, and also transport amino acid and other substances. The translocation of food and other substances takes place in sieve tubes, very important, sieve tubes, with the help of adjacent companion cells. In xylem, what happened? The water and minerals conducted by the tracheids and vessel. No, the food is conducted by the sieve tube with the help of adjacent companion cells, both upward and downward direction. So the food is conducted by the sieve tube and adjacent companion cells. This is a diagram, phloem elements diagram. The sieve plates are there, sieve tube, phloem parenchyma, companion cell. Okay, so through this way, sieve tubes with the help of companion cell. It is a sieve tube, this companion cell with the help of these two cells, the water is conducts. What is the remaining role of the remaining cells? No, like phloem fibers. These are supports for the conduction of the food. But these two, the sieve tube and companion cells, only take more role, conducts food. This is a diagram. Next, difference between xylem and phloem. First one, xylem is water and mineral conducting tissue. Phloem is food conductive tissues. Xylem has only one type of living cell. Xylem has only one type of living cells. What is one type of living cell? Xylem parenchyma. Here, the phloem has three types of living cell. What are they? Sieve tubes, companion cell, xylem, parenchyma. So these are three living cells in the phloem. Xylem fiber is dead cell. Xylem has three types of dead cells: tracheids, vessels, and fiber. These are the dead cell. Phloem has only one type of dead cell, that is phloem fiber. We discussed already. So these are differentiation between the xylem and phloem. Mechanism of phloem transport. So there is a mechanism. According to this mechanism only the food is transported. Sucrose is transferred into phloem. From the leaves, the food is transferred into phloem. Tissue using energy from ATP for this transportation, that for the sucrose transportation need energy. That energy is obtained from the ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Is energy currency, giving energy giving molecule. ATP means energy giving molecule. It gives energy for the transportation of the sucrose. This increases the osmotic pressure of the tissues, causing water to move into it. So this transportation increase osmotic pressure inside the plant body, so that what happening, there is a water movement. This pressure moves the material in the phloem to tissues which have less pressure. So when there is a high pressure, okay, so according to the pressure is a high pressure is there, then where is a low pressure, through the low pressure the food is moves. Okay, according to that it is moving, the food is moving. Then this allow the phloem to move material according to the plant's need. So this less pressure, due to the less pressure, according to the plant's need, the food is moved. Example, in spring season, sugar stored in root or stem tissue would be transported to the buds which need energy to grow. In spring season, all the plants, all the seeds are start to grow. So that time need energy. Okay, so wherever the energy is necessary, so the energy is reached to the particular area for growth. So this is a mechanism of phloem transport. Next, excretion in plants, like animals, like human beings, the plants also release waste. Now, what is the excretion? The elimination of waste material from the body called excretion. So excretion is not only occur in the animals, it is occurs also in the plant. But waste are different. For example, the humans, the waste are urea, uric acid, like that. But in plants, the waste are different. So what are the waste materials are there in the plants? How it is released? Now we will see. Plants do not produce nitrogenous waste like urea and uric acid. So it's a major nitrogenous waste material. Okay, where in animals, not in plants. The plant produce other type of waste products called secondary metabolites. So we are releasing the nitrogenous waste, but plant produce a waste. That waste are called secondary metabolite. Example, alkaloids, tannins, resins, and gums. These are the waste. Excess of water get dried off through transpiration. So during the transpiration there is a loss of water, no? So that water is considered as a excess of water. So that is also is a waste in plant. And excess of oxygen formed during photosynthesis. So during the photosynthesis, glucose is produced or synthesized, and also end of the photosynthesis, oxygen is released. No, that is also considered as a waste for the plants, but not for us. Only it's considered as a waste for plants, not for us. Many plant waste products are stored in cellular vacuoles. So many waste are stored in the vacuole. What is a vacuole? Is a plant cell organelle. So in the plant cell organelle vacuoles only the waste materials are stored. Waste products may be stored in leaves. The waste products, the vacuole is in the leaves also there is a vacuole. So in the leaves the vacuoles stores the waste product. So what happened? Very soon that leaf may fall off because all the waste materials are stored there. So that the leaves are fall off. The other waste products are stored as resins, gums, especially in old xylem. So these are the secondary metabolites or waste materials. So these stores in the old xylem. These stores in the old xylem. Okay, is very important. Old xylem. The resin and gums are stored in the old xylem. Next, plants also excrete some waste substances into the soil around them. So the root are always contact with the soil, no? The root also have a minute pores. So through the root, the waste materials are released around the soil. Okay, so 6th chapter is over. Now we are going to discuss chapter 15 or environment. This chapter is very easy. Okay, this chapter is very easy. So from this chapter, one short answer question or 1 mark question, and 3 mark question. 3 mark question may come from chapter 15 and 16. 1 mark question or 3 mark question, any one question will come from this chapter, and it's very easy chapter compared than remaining chapter. This is very easy chapter. Or environment. Now, what is the environment? The word environment is derived from the French word environ. Environ is a French word. The meaning for the environ, surrounding. Environment is the place, people, things, and nature that surround any living organism. It is our basic life support system. Environment is our basic life support system. It provides air, water, food, and the land. These are in the environment. So from the environment only we are obtaining this. It is a combination of natural and human-made phenomena. It is a combination of natural and human-made phenomena. Natural and human-made phenomena. This environment. In environment, both living things and non-living substances are there in the earth. Now, what happens when we add our waste to the environment? When we add the waste in the environment, what will happen? The waste are maybe a gaseous, liquid, and solid. In the 3 states, the waste are there. The first state, gaseous state. Smoke from chimneys, automobile exhaust. These are considered as a gaseous waste. Liquid waste, sewage water, liquid effluent from the chemical industries. The waste from the chemical industry is considered as a liquid waste. Next, solid waste. Solid waste includes, first one is food waste or garbage. What are food waste or garbage? Waste of vegetables and fruit markets and food canning industry, kitchens. So these waste are called food waste. Next, trash and rubbish. Trash and rubbish. Can, dirt, ash, broken furniture, waste leather, papers, clothes, plastics, etc. These are considered as a trash and a rubbish. Can means what? A metal can. Here, industrial solid waste. From industries, so many industries are there. Leather industries are, chemical industries are, petroleum refinery industries. So many industries are there. From these industries also release solid waste. Here liquid waste, but here solid waste. Okay, and chemical waste, paint, paper, chemicals, mercury industries. From these industries the waste are released. The waste are called chemical waste. Okay, farm waste. From the crop residue, cow dung, these are called farm waste. So these waste are we are dumping in the environment. Okay, so that all waste. The waste are classified into 2 categories. The first one is biodegradable waste. Second one is non-biodegradable waste. Waste are classified into 2 categories. The first one is biodegradable waste. Substances that are broken down by biological process. By the biological process, the waste are broken down, called biodegradable waste. Examples: leaves, papers, wool, leather, wood, jute are broken down by bacteria and fungi. So these are the waste. These waste are broken down by the bacteria and fungi. And non-biodegradable waste. That means substances that are not broken down. The substances are not broken down. Here broken down, here not broken down, called non-biodegradable waste. Examples: metallic cans, glass articles, polythene bags, synthetic fibers, etc. So these are considered as a non-biodegradable because these materials cannot decompose by the bacteria and fungi. Why it cannot decompose? Because the bacteria and fungi release some enzymes for break down the waste material. That enzyme only reacts on the biodegradable waste like this. And the same enzyme will not react on these waste, so that these waste are decomposed, these waste are not decomposed. Okay, so the waste are classified into two categories. Now, difference between biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste. There are two types of waste we discussed now. Now differentiation. First one is biodegradable waste. These can be broken down into simple non-poisonous substances by action of microorganism in nature. In this waste, the microbes are involved and it is breakdown. Here, these cannot be broken down into simple non-poisonous substances by the action of microorganism in nature. Here microbes will involve, here will not involve. Second one, the biodegradable waste, they can be recycled naturally as well as by man and their products do not pollute the environment. The biodegradable waste will not pollute the environment, but non-biodegradable waste pollute the environment. Third one, the waste are made up of natural ingredients. The biodegradable waste are made up of natural ingredients. Here made up of synthetic materials or man-made materials, so it is not decomposed. Fourth one, they can produce useful products after biodegradation. After decompose, we can use it for as a manure. Here they remain unchanged chemically as they are non-biodegradable. So here there is no changes. They do not disturb the ecological balance in the nature. So there is a ecological balance in the nature. The biodegradable, here there is no ecological balance. It disturbs the ecological balance. Next, they persist for small time intervals in the environment. So in short time it is persist. Okay, after that it is decomposed by the microorganism. This non-biodegradable cannot decompose the microorganism, so it is persist a long time, 100 years, 1000 years, like that. It is persist long time in the environment. Example for biodegradable waste, already what we discussed, the same: papers, cow dung, wood crumbles. Wood crumbles are biodegradable waste. Here, plastic bags, synthetic fibers, cans, etc. These are non-biodegradable waste. These are the differentiate between biodegradable, non-biodegradable waste. Next, ecosystem. What is ecosystem definition? An ecosystem is a community of living organisms interacting with each other and their non-living environment. Here, living environment interact with a non-living environment called ecosystem. Okay, next ecosystem have two components. Two components are there in the ecosystem. The first one is biotic components, abiotic components. What is biotic components? Biotic components are comprising all living organisms. All living organisms comes under biotic components. Second one is abiotic components, comprising physical factors like temperature, rainfall, wind, soil and minerals. These are comes under abiotic components. Now the biotic and abiotic components are interact with each other. Okay, so this is called a ecosystem. For example, temperature we get the water from the rainfall. Wind, oxygen we need for breathe. Soil is need, minerals are need. Okay, to whom? For living organism, whether plants or animals need. So biotic components and abiotic components are interact with each other. So it is called a ecosystem. Okay. Okay, now there are two types of ecosystem: natural ecosystem and artificial or human made ecosystem. Like that, two ecosystems are there. What are natural ecosystem? Forest is a natural ecosystem, ponds are natural ecosystem, lakes are natural ecosystem. These are occurs naturally, so that it is called natural ecosystem. Artificial or human made ecosystem are made by human beings or artificially. Example, garden and crop field. Garden and crop field. Garden, botanical gardens are they know, that is made by human being. And crop field, maize, paddy, the fields are they know, it is made by human being, not naturally. So this comes under the human made ecosystem. Organism can be grouped as according to the manner in which they obtain. Organism, that biotic component we discussed now. So there are living organisms. The organisms are classified. Okay, what manner, to what they obtain, what they take. Okay, according to that it is classified: producers, consumers and decomposers. The first one is producers. What are producers? All green plants and certain blue-green algae which can produce food by photosynthesis is called producers. So all green plants and certain blue-green algae produce food by photosynthesis, called producers. Next, consumers. Organisms depend on the producers either directly or indirectly. The organisms depend on the producer either directly or indirectly, called consumers. The organism depend producer. The consumer can be classified variously. Again, the consumer classified variously: herbivores, carnivores and omnivores. What are herbivores? The plant eaters which eat plants called herbivores. Carnivores, the animals which eat only the meat called carnivores. Omnivores, the animals which eat both plants and meat called omnivores. So the consumer again classified herbivore, carnivore and omnivores. The next type is decomposers. Decomposers. Microorganisms are decomposers. Example, bacteria and fungi. So these are called decomposers. Why these are called decomposers? These decomposers only can break down the dead complex organic substances into simpler inorganic substances. The breakdown complex to simple substances that go into the soil and are used up once more by the plants. So these waste materials are decomposed into smaller substances, again that is utilized by the plants for growth. So the bacteria and fungi are called a decomposer. If bacteria and fungi is not there in the earth, there is no decomposition process occurs.